Everybody.
Fantastic. How are you doing, Dave?
I am fantastic as well. Welcome to the show. File on in here, everyone. Happy Monday to all of you. Happy Monday, Bree.
Happy Monday, boys.
Alec, is that you? Are you already messing stuff up?
No, that was me. Don't blame the intern.
No, don't. Bree, don't admit to anything. Alec, stop messing up.
I like Alec.
We've got big play producer Alec in studio here. We're getting the show out there. We'll be ready to roll in about 20 seconds. Let some people roll on in here, and we will get this show going.
Can you send me the link? The easiest link?
Oh, my gosh.
Are you serious?
I'm going to put it out there on Twitter. I'm just about to put it out there on Twitter, folks. But I need the link, the easy link, so that my uncle can get on.
You want the YouTube link? Alec, will you send him the YouTube link?
Hey, that's a good intern job.
Right?
That's what we have him around for.
That is right. Do. Hope everyone...
Paste.
Nice.
And we are going out to Twitter.
Excellent. All right. Bear with us for one more minute. File on in. Show will begin here in about 20 seconds. Get these... Get the chat up here, see if anyone's in the chat.
Chris, I messaged it to you.
All right, he sent it over to you, Chris. So you will now have the YouTube link, YouTube Live.
Sent you a link. Aha. You are great. Despite what Dave says about you.
That's right. Are you guys ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Guys, let's talk some Shack News real quick here. The Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News, your go-to for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs. They have game guides, gaming interviews, original video content, a whole lot more. Head on over to Shack News and get into the conversation by clicking on that Shack News Twitter profile in our show title, because when it comes to gaming news, there's only one site to visit, shacknews.com. We're talking Indians in a positive light. We're talking Browns. Let's get going. It's a Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show. The Big Play Cleveland Reflog Show. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2019. I'm your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil.
Dave, how you doing, man? I am pumped. I will tell you that much. I don't know about you. We called up a guy, the Indians did, that kind of got me a little excited this week.
All right, we already got General Patton in the comments on YouTube. Yeah, you know, we don't really need to lift Chris's clout anymore, but hey, he says, great call, Chris, on Bobby Bradley.
I am on fire. You
He
guys are making fun of me, saying that I couldn't come up with a big one, and guess what I did? I called it this week. I said the Indians would call up Bobby Bradley, and guess what they did?
That's right. He also says this show is better than Drennan Live, so all right. We'll take it. That's right. We'll take it. Hey, we got a guy in studio as well. But first, Bree, how are you doing?
Hey, guys. It's been a good Monday. Scored some Browns training camp tickets. Woo, woo.
How'd you do that?
I'm a season ticket member, so I had early access. Look at me.
Look at you. That's awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, we're almost there. We're almost to Browns season.
1 month.
That's right. We have another guy in studio. We got intern Alec actually here live in the studio. Get ready. I'm going to put him on screen here. Alec, hold on. Let me turn your microphone on as well. There he is. Alec, say hello to everyone.
What's up, Internet? How are we doing?
All right, good.
Wow,
All right, that's all.
Alex,
That's
sound
all.
great.
That's all you get. All right, good stuff, Alec.
Actually,
Okay,
Dave.
that's right. Mike Brown's on Periscope. What's up, my man? Let's get right into this show. But actually, before we do, guys, we're giving away 2 Lower Bowl Primo tickets to the All-Star Game, July 8th, right here in Cleveland, Ohio. Marlins man, you all love him, has donated 2 incredible tickets for our giveaway to a lucky fan. If you want a shot to win, go subscribe to the Big Play YouTube channel. 1 lucky subscriber is going to win those tickets. You can catch all of the shows live on YouTube as well as the replays. You can pop us on the TV if you got that YouTube, Red? You can pop us on there, watch us on TV. Better than Drennan Live. You heard it here first. So tonight on the show, we are bringing in CMA country music artist, award-winning Shane Runyan, coming in to talk about his music, life, and some special things he's doing here in Northeast Ohio to combat the opioid epidemic in the area. Really excited to talk with him. That'll be a fun interview. We'll get into some Power Rank Monday. What are we doing here? Top 3 highly anticipated sports athletes debuts. Thanks, Bree. Appreciate it.
I've got some special
That was a big one.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
I got some special ones for you guys tonight, too.
Oh,
so I'm
boy.
excited
Oh,
about
boy.
that, too.
can't wait, Chris. Can't wait. We'll break down all of the Cleveland sports headlines this week. We will be talking Bobby Bradley. We will be talking Indians in a positive light. And we're going to break down very quickly the first 4 games of the Browns season. Hit you with a couple Would You Rathers. Give you our bold predictions for the week. And then we'll get you out of here. But let's start things off. Chris, are we going interview first or are we going Power Rank Monday first?
Well, if our interview's ready, then we can go interview first. I don't know. Don't you have an intern around there, maybe in studio with you? That you
He's
can
just
consult?
he's just staring at me. He's really not doing a whole lot.
He's just another pretty face. isn't he?
That's right. That's right.
Taking notes.
Shane is not on the line yet, so let's go Power Rank Monday. It's time for Power Rank Monday. It is Power Rank Monday. Let's see here. So today, in honor of Bobby Bradley's highly anticipated big league debut, we are going to power rank our top 3 most anticipated athlete debuts. You guys want me to kick it off, or who wants to go first?
Kick it off, Dave.
All right, I'll kick it off. My number 3. Do you just say, where's the button? Yeah. You can't say that out loud, Alec. Come on, man. Number 3, I am going Greg Oden.
Oh,
Ohio's
man, he's a monster.
own.
Good one.
Picked over Kevin Durant, OSU phenom. I remember this guy in college. He looked like he could be LeBron's dad. Like, he did not look like a college kid. He looked like he was 45. It was crazy. And he sadly, all these injuries piled up early in his career. We never got to see how good he could have been over Kevin Durant. Portland people are still talking about that. So wish him well, but yeah, everyone was ready for that. Everyone was ready for it. My number 2, Johnny Manziel.
Ooh, Money Manziel.
We've got all this
That's
positive karma going on with the Browns. You got to bring up Johnny, huh?
Dude, the timing on this was so awful. Brian Hoyer, fellow St. Ignatius alum. Yep. He was crushing it. He was on pace to be probably the best quarterback ever in the modern era for Browns. Really? Seriously?
No, ever. Don't
Ever. Wow,
just
yeah.
drop the Browns. Just the best quarterback
Better
ever.
than Brian Sipe, better than Bernie. Yeah, ever. A side note, since Alec is here, I got to make fun of him. He was in the I think this was Chris. This was way back in the day when we were talking on the Browns post-game show, and Alec was talking about. So Alec's super young. He's in college. He's the intern, and he's talking about Browns quarterbacks, and he's like, "Yes, and let's talk about Brian Sipe."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh God, this guy is young."
Deep Bay.
Oh, too funny.
Fantastic.
That's right. I digress. Let's get back to Johnny Football. Yeah, right. So
We know how that turned out. Just go to your number one.
that's fair. That's fair. Number one, Francisco Lindor. It seriously seemed like a decade before we got to call him up. Probably the most highly anticipated call-ups of all time for the Indians. And he's delivered thus far. He's still with us. We're keeping him for a while. Enjoy him. Francisco Lindor. Very happy that worked out. Chris,
Very nice.
What do you got for us, Christopher?
Okay, well, first of all, I have to preface this by saying I didn't go LeBron James because I was saving that. I knew Bree would have to say LeBron James. Somebody would have to.
Me
me
too.
That's the reason he's not on my list. He'd be 1, 2, and
Leave
3.
him on my list for every single show, knowing that he'll work in all of these.
You're just going to work him in. But my number 3, Terrell Brandon. Remember Terrell Brandon? Drafted as the heir apparent to Mr. Mark Price, one of my favorite Cavs player. 1991. He was good enough to allow the team to trade Mark Price. Then in 95, Terrell Brandon had kind of come along that far. He named SI, and I didn't realize this until I was doing my research, named him the best point guard in the NBA in 1997. He led the team in assists, points, and steals at that point.
Wow.
Interesting thing about him, he hosted a lot of basketball camps, gave back to the community quite a bit. He hosted a basketball camp where a 7th grader by the name of LeBron James attended. And he, interestingly, now runs Terrell Brandon's barber shop in Portland, which is really, really popular amongst NBA players. So there's some tidbits in there.
No kidding.
Terrell Brandon was your number 3.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Number 2. And this is for him coming in as a Brown. He was already in the league, but Andre Rison. Remember, Andre Rison was the first big free agent signing by the Cleveland Browns, really. He had made Pro Bowl 4 out of his first 6 seasons in the league. When he was with the Browns, however, he recorded career lows. Well, here, he cussed out the fans after a game, yelling F you to the fans and such that. He had his house burned down by left eye.
Yes, I remember that.
Right, and he nearly bankrupted Art Modell and kind of ended up with the Browns leaving town. So that one didn't go quite as planned. And number 1, speaking of didn't go quite as planned, Matt Laporta. Remember Matt Laporta?
Really?
The centerpiece of the CC Sabathia trade to the Brewers in 2008. Left fielder, DH. He was the heir apparent. He was supposed to bring in a new era of Cleveland Indians baseball. He did none of that. He played more like Matt Laporta Potty, which is what we like to call him. Never reached his potential. He did officially retire in 2015 if you need him. So there you go.
Wow. I forgot completely about that guy.
Matt Laporta Potty. He was something special. Bree, do you have a list for us?
I have a list, guys.
Yes.
Number 3. So my number 3 is RG3. Back in 2012, he was the Heisman Trophy winner coming out of Baylor and drafted number 2 by the Washington Redskins. You guys know who was picked before him at number 1?
Yes, Andrew Luck.
Was it?
I don't know.
Why did I think it was Sam? I think it was Sam Bradford, actually.
No, it was Andrew Luck.
Was it Andrew Luck?
Maybe I'm wrong. No.
No, you could be right. I could be wrong.
Alec, look it up. Look it up, Alec.
Alec,
an intern
get on it.
Right? He types so slow. But I do remember they traded that.
They traded up for him.
Yeah, it was insane.
So anyway, we are obviously familiar with RG3 as Browns fan because we thought he would be the chosen one coming back from an injury. However, RG3 won Rookie of the Year and appeared to be a lock as a franchise quarterback and unfortunately was just whittled with injuries. So a bust, much like Greg Oden.
They completely ruined him. Remember that playoff game where he had like one leg and they just kept I think it was Shanahan at the time. Oh, it was brutal. Bree was Andrew Luck, by the way.
Oh, damn. Where did Sam Bradford go? Sorry, I swore too.
I don't remember.
All right, I'll just move on.
Bree's on a roll tonight.
Don't listen to anything
Who's your
I say.
number 2?
Number 2. Any guesses, guys? Any guesses?
LeBron James.
LeBron James. The chosen one, the number 1 draft pick out of high school, played in front of a sold-out crowd in Sacramento during his NBA debut after being the number 1 pick. He finished with 25 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds in that debut. And as we now know, that high school hype was cemented. And I believe LeBron probably silenced the critics after that first performance.
I actually didn't realize he played that well in his first game. That's amazing. I
Yeah,
remember
it
him
was,
coming off the bench for a while, but that's pretty impressive.
And I believe not only did he sell out Sacramento, but I believe the media credentials, like they doubled the amount of media that had been at NBA games. So he kind of kicked off this, injected some new blood into the NBA again. And finally, number 1, any Cleveland Browns quarterback. From Brady Quinn to Colt McCoy, we always anticipated a savior to take us to the promised land. I think now with Baker Mayfield, hopefully, we have that guy since Bernie Kosar, really. So I don't think you guys can argue that any Cleveland Browns quarterback draft pick has been hyped for a debut more than we've done it.
Draft pick, you're probably right. But in terms of free agents, Jake Delhomme, I don't think had anybody excited in Cleveland.
No. There was people. They're like, oh, you know what? He's had a couple bad years. He's not that old.
Brock Osweiler. I mean,
Brock Osweiler. There's another good one.
I almost put Kelly Holcomb on this list.
Oh, we had some greats, didn't we?
Oh, yes, we did. All right,
Speaking of greats, do we have a great on the line right now? Alec, the intern, do we have our interview?
That's right. General Patton says I was excited for Jeff Garcia, of course. God, that's a list. Yeah, let's move on. It's interview time. Christopher, bring him on in.
Yeah, so tonight we have something a little bit different. It's a sports show, but we are going to bring in a country star. His name is Shane Runyon. Shane is a former middle school teacher, believe it or not, turned dreamer, as he says, a seasoned performer and songwriter with a grassroots following that has helped him achieve two consecutive top 40 songs on Music Row country breakout charts with Tattoo and Love You That Much. Shane, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, what's up? It's so cool. I'm sitting here watching y'all right now. This show is amazing.
Shane?
Y'all studio is amazing. You guys are so entertaining, and it is amazing to be on here talking to y'all.
Oh, wow. There's the beginning we wanted to hear. Bring in the energy, Shane. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
So naturally,
we
get a country singer in here like yourself. The first thing I want to do is talk golf. So we were talking earlier, right? There's a non sequitur for you. I'm just going to throw a little curveball. We were talking earlier. You're not a huge sports guy. I'm not a big country guy, but we were able to come together talking a little bit about Muirfield. You were down here, not too far from me, and you went to the tournament this year. What was that experience like, Shane?
Well, you know, it has to be one of those experiences that, like, when I tell the story, it's got to be frustrating to, like, real sports lovers. So I was in Columbus. I was doing a segment for NBC in Columbus, talking about a song and my song moving up the charts. And my best friend in the world lives in Columbus, and he basically, long story short, was like, hey man, all of a sudden I didn't expect to have these 2 tickets, but I have these 2 tickets to this PGA tournament. I hope I'm saying that right. And he said, it's right here. You want to come? And I was like, I guess, we'll go for an hour. And dude, I showed up, and it was this house on the 18th hole. And dude, I had more fun than I've had in a long time. It was a blast. And I kind of get it. I'm kind of starting to get it. It's just really chill. It's a lot of fun. And got to see Tiger Woods, tee off right there. It was pretty awesome. I was telling Chris, I was like, dude, you don't realize how good those guys are till you see an average Joe swing. And then, then you see them and they just crush it. It's unbelievable what they can do.
So Shane, one of my favorite topics when it comes to this is on social media, ripping on those guys that show up to these events that are dressed like they're going to play. They're wearing like spikes. They're wearing, the really, really nice, ultra expensive golf shirt. They've got, of course, a sponsor's logo on their hat. They've got the belt that probably costs more than any belt I've ever bought before. Now, were you one of those guys out there, Shane? Is that the way you dressed when you went out there?
Dude, I'm proud to say I would not have frustrated anybody. I had on jeans, cowboy boots,
Yes.
and a Hawaiian shirt. And I had a few Bloody Marys, and dude, I just had the most fun ever. Like, it was a blast, and I was pretty open about it. So there's like two choices when you go to something like that. It's like, man, am I going to try to blend in, or am I just going to expose myself? So, like, right up front, everybody that's there, I'm like, hey, before we get into chatting too hard, just know I know nothing about golf, but let's have some fun. And, dude, it's kind of got me wanting to get some clubs and get started, because I kind of get it. It was so fun. But, yeah, dude, I did not fit in. Like, you could have spotted me from a mile away. I just embraced who I am and was like, let's have fun with this.
So you just come off here pretty recently here in the last month playing the CMA Fest. What are experiences like that like for you? And really, in a broader sense, what's the Nashville scene like for somebody who's inside, who's an actual performer in that scene?
Well, what is it like to be in that scene? Well, for me, it is, I don't know. For me, it's exciting. It's something that I'm proud of, because I think you kind of have three classes of musicians. You have like the hobbyists, as you might say, on an old basis, like the weekend warriors, right? And then you have the big guys with, a corporate checkbook behind them. And then you kind of have those guys in between that are doing it on a national level, but they really don't have this huge machine behind them. So, and that's me. I fall right into the middle of that. And I very openly, I always want to give credit to where it's due. And I feel so blessed to say that, and everybody in Nashville is shocked at this. They're as shocked as me, that I've done this with mostly a grassroots following. I mean, I've had passionate people who love my songs, who love the show. And as you introed me, I used to be a teacher. I had just gotten tenure whenever CMA named me an emerging artist in 2015, which basically is a glorified way to say that they're going to show you off and give you a meet and greet booth and give you an opportunity to meet fans. And I realized we had something, and the support from country music fans was so overwhelming. I was like, you know what, heck with it. Let's do it. So I resigned from my job. We bought a bus. We just went right after, dude. I bought a bus, and for about 3 years, we were playing 100 to 120 shows a year, and just killing it, just beating down the highway. And that's on top of like doing radio tours and stuff like that. And so there was a lot of months where I'd sleep in my bed, maybe three nights a month. And we just got out there and just kept playing and kept getting in front of people. And I've always been kind of chill. I don't try to present myself as something I'm not. And so I just was humble and real with people, and they just kept getting behind me and kept getting behind me. And then before you know it, here I am at CMA Fest, and people are like, whoa, dude, like, the people who support me are stoked. Other artists, like fellow musicians, they're like, they can't believe it. They're like, bro, like, good for you. Like, go you. Getting your big toe into the door, and doing this big stuff. And again, I just kind of credit a lot of hustle and a lot of sweet people who support me.
We talked a lot about Nashville there, but you're also very rooted and very passionate about your hometown in Portsmouth, Ohio, and you haven't forgotten about it. And I suspect it probably comes out in your music and the way you are. Can you talk a little bit about that, your connection back home, and kind of your feelings around the town in Ohio?
Absolutely. Yeah, and you're spot on, man. I am so proud of Ohio, and I guess I would maybe say I'm proud of the tri-state. So I was born and spent the first half of my life in West Virginia, I've lived in Ohio the majority of my life since I was in middle school. My parents divorced, and I followed my mom up this way. And so I've always grown up in Southern Ohio, and I taught history right across the river in Kentucky. And I love this area so much. I love Ohio so much. And whenever it was about a year after I resigned, we finally thought, okay, we need to do the Nashville thing. So we got a place in Nashville. And I guess it would have been maybe early 2016. And we were going to sell our house in Ohio, and some, I'll call it a God thing. We ended up not. And at first we were like, man, are we making a mistake? But we kept bouncing back and forth. So, we'd drive down to Nashville and do that thing. And then I'd come home and like slowly but surely for like 2.5 years, I just kept longing for home. And I kept telling my wife, like, let's not go down. Let's just stay home, which I call Ohio. Let's just, when we get off the road off of a string of concerts, I'd be like, let's just spend a few more days home in Ohio. And that kept getting more and more and more. And so eventually I just kind of embraced it. And yes, we've been, calling Nashville a second home for several years, but home will always be Ohio. And I've embraced that and kind of branded myself as the small town Ohio dude, who's, not going to try to be like everybody else and do it the same way, literally, I would venture to say hundreds of thousands of people in Nashville are doing. And I've just kind of wrapped my arms around Ohio and small towns, and it's, thank God it's been working, man. It's been working in a big way.
Well, not only have you wrapped your arms around Ohio, but you've also wrapped your arms around the schools as well. You haven't lost where you came from as a middle school teacher. You also are very involved, what I understand, going back to the schools and really giving back in the community. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So, I'm getting emotional already. I'm not even talking about it yet. Yes, I was a middle school teacher for several years, and I think the biggest theme in my life is I just want to help other people, and I want to serve other people. And obviously that's why I went into teaching, which is not a lucrative field, but I loved it. I was passionate about it. And believe it or not, it was very hard for me to leave it because I really loved it. But whenever I started becoming an artist, that's what I wanted to do with my music, was uplift people and make people feel better. And one thing led to another. I was asked to perform at this drug-free rally. And I told my bandmates, like jokingly, I was like, sorry guys, I'm dragging you into this gig, but thanks for helping me out. Thanks for doing this with me. And we, I thought it would be, to be honest, there's no good way to say it. I thought it was going to be the lamest gig ever, but I was doing a good thing. And we went and played the show, and dude, I was like hooked. It was so amazing to see these high school kids like supporting each other. And as everyone knows, every listener, every viewer right now of yours, every fan of your show knows that the drug epidemic affects everybody. And so they were all supporting each other. Everybody was affected. Everybody was giving each other a lot of love, and they were being dead serious. They weren't making fun of each other. They weren't making light of it. And so an organization called Drug Free Clubs of America asked me if I'd be interested in visiting several of the schools that are a part of that drug-free movement. And I said, yeah, I will. And a long story short, I was just like hell-bent on making it happen. And it was really at an inconvenient time, and it didn't seem like it was going to work. And we pieced it all together, and we did. It was right around 30 shows at various high schools, mainly through Ohio, but a couple in West Virginia, and I think a couple in Kentucky, but primarily Ohio. And we went around to high schools and gave a message of both talking about not being dependent on drugs to fix your problems, but I kind of turned it into something more than that, which was my message. And I gave it real short. We took the bus. We took full sound, and we took a portable stage. So we set up a full concert at every single high school we visited, like 30 in just over a month. and we visited every one of these high schools, and we put on a full concert. And then, like, right in the middle, I would break it down and I would give my message, which was, we all need a purpose, you know, and we're all so wired to have a purpose, like have something more than ourselves. And when we don't have that, when we don't have a purpose, then, you know, that's when we start depending on other things, whether it be drugs or whether it be, you know, hurting yourself or self-destructive habits, which we all have, or, you know, all kinds of terrible things. And then I encourage the kids, you know, if they didn't know what that purpose was, that I believe that it's serving each other and just being good to people around you, not being a doormat, not being a pushover, but, you know, just being somebody who cares about the people around you and wants to see the best for other people. And that's how I actually met Greg McNeil, who has Cover 2. And I met Greg, and he was a big part of a couple of the schools in the greater Akron area, the greater Cleveland, Akron area. And he was an amazing man, and is an amazing man. And I just got really into it because of how sweet and good these people were. And these are like dudes. They're not these little wimpy pushover dudes. Like, they're real dudes and real people that are behind this stuff, but they're just passionate about, like, getting this daggone epidemic that's affecting everywhere. They just want to help with it. And so I started at the high schools, and we've grown out from there. And now every time they ask me to be a part of something to do with the greater drug-free epidemic, for what I call it, a lack of purpose, this purpose and fulfillment epidemic, I'm always wanting to be a part of it.
That's great. And you mentioned my Uncle Greg, who's doing some great work with Cover 2, and you're a big part of that. And something we got coming up in Northeast Ohio here in July is an event basically where you're going to be present, giving a concert. And essentially what they're doing, the City of Green is conducting Free Project Dawn. And that Dawn stands for Deaths Avoided with Naloxone. And basically naloxone is it allows people who have overdosed from opioids to come back. They have between 6 and 10 minutes to get to these folks. So what they're trying to do is go out there and train as many people in the green area as possible on how to administer naloxone. And they're going to do these trainings. There's going to be 3 sessions, one on July 9th at 10:30 a.m., one on July 11th and July 18th at 5:30 p.m. on Maslin Road at Fire Station Number 1 on 4200 Maslin Road, North Canton, Ohio 44720. And for anybody who goes and completes that program, they're going to be recognized on July 25th at the launch celebration concert. And that's where Shane Runyon's going to be there. They're going to be recognizing those folks that go through this training who are able to then administer naloxone. They're also going to be recognizing some local hotels that are going to be installing some of these kits so that they can get to people who have overdosed, and also some members of the community who have been so instrumental in trying to push through with this program, as it's one of the first, in fact, it is the first in the country from what I understand, and Shane's going to be performing there. So you want to talk a little bit about the celebration there, Shane?
Well, yeah, I'll talk about it in saying this. Like, I am very aware of where I fit into this, and basically the way I fit into it is that I love these guys. I love what they're doing. I love what your Uncle Greg is doing in Cover 2. And basically what I do for a living is put on a big daggone party, and we just rock out, take people to a good time. And people like to come see it, and people enjoy it. And so I just want to be a small part of attracting people to bring them into this. And once you're there, man, you're going to feel something. And so I encourage everybody who's listening and watching right now to come out, enjoy a show. It's not going to be any kind of like, weird kumbaya type thing. We're just putting on a country concert. And while you're there, you're going to meet some great people. You're going to hear about some great stuff, kind of before and after I play. And it's really, it's an amazing thing. And you can't, trust me. I was that guy a couple years ago. You're not going to get it. You're not going to really feel something now, but just come, have a great time. And and kind of, hear what they say, before and after my show. And I think you'll really, you'll agree that this is people with a lot of sincerity. It's very real to people, and it's so rewarding to be a part of and to support these people and what they're doing. So yeah, that's what I am. I'm just, I'm a little bit, hopefully a little bit of a magnet to draw some people in and help people realize what a great thing is going on. And I always stay around, talk, hang out, pictures and autographs for the kids and everybody. And it's just going to be a great time. It's going to be a good day that's going to make you feel like a better person at the end of it.
That is fantastic. And once again, that's at 6:30, July 25th, and it's going to be held at the Central Park Amphitheater there over in Greene. So look for that coming up. Shane's going to be there. Also, you can catch Shane on Twitter at Shane Runyon or at ShaneRunyon.com. Catch him on Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes. Anything else you want to say, Shane?
No. Well, man, all I want to say is we've had several songs. Well, two. We've had two songs break top 40. My last one broke number 25, and we were really celebrating big. So for anybody listening that kind of wants to be a part of this, follow me on whatever social media it is that you do, and support what I got going on. If you would, it really helps me a lot, and I couldn't do it without you. And if you don't care, if I might add, Chris, if we could make some sort of comment in the thing, under the video or something with the details for that show, I want to share this so that everybody can look at it and put it in their phone and plan to be there. It's going to be a great time.
Absolutely. We can do that. And Shane, those two songs, Tattoo and Love You That Much, those are the ones that are up there right now, right?
They are. Yeah. Tattoos was my first ever song on radio. It broke top 40 last year, reached number 30. And Love You That Much, it just reached number 25 last week. Very blessed.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
That is awesome. Congratulations. And you and I are going to have to get out and play a little golf, Shane. Bring your wallet.
Yeah,
I'll teach you how to play.
Dude, I'll be your caddy. Any day.
We'll have a good old time. Once again, that's Shane Runyon. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thanks.
Great stuff from Shane. What a good dude.
Yeah, isn't he? I mean, I talked to him earlier. That's the first time I had talked to him. And he's just so genuine, just so honest about everything. And just seems like the type of guy you'd want to sit down and have a beer with. And he really comes across that way. Cool guy. Thank you, Shane.
Very, very cool. All right, Alec, let's move on to some Cleveland headlines. Chris, this headline is for you. Are you ready?
Can't imagine what it's about.
Bobby Bradley made his big league debut. The young slugger.
We have some sound effects for that, right? We need assassin.
Yeah, give me a DJ air horn, Alec. There we go. Bobby Bradley's up. The young slugger has been tearing it up in AAA all season. Had 24 home runs before the All-Star break. First MLB at bat, Bradley slugged one, RBI, ground rule double. I got to see it firsthand. I was at the game. Didn't know he was going to be there until that morning, which was really, really cool. The crowd there, man, they were acting like this was a playoff game. Like the standing ovations. Like I think Bobby Bradley got like 3 or 4 standing ovations. Like I haven't seen anything like this since Lindor. The Assassin's going to need some. He's going to add a lot of help to this Tribe lineup. It's been pretty lackadaisical since he arrived. They're starting to heat up a little bit. Indians home run leaders right now. You got Carlos Santana, who's he's probably going to start in the All-Star game. He's got 17. Perez with 13. Lindor with 12. McNeil, Bobby Bradley, end of the season, will he be in the top 3 for
Why
our
not?
team?
This guy can do anything. Absolutely. Come on. Get on the train. The only thing I feel bad about for Bobby Bradley is he won't be able to participate in the All-Star game for AAA now. They took that away from him.
I
So
saw that.
now they got to get him in the home run derby. That's what needs to happen. Have they ever put somebody in the home run derby who hasn't hit a home run yet?
Sir, you hit a ground rule double. I think we're gonna put you in the derby. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't know. You don't have Lindor in there at the moment, though. I think that's going to change, and so you got to have somebody locally who's everybody's going to get behind, and that would be Bobby Bradley.
That's right, and Brad Hand. There we go.
And Brad Hand.
All right, let's keep it going. Shout out to Mike in the comments. Oscar Mercado is the GOAT. Could be a bold prediction for the next couple of years. Let's keep talking Indians for a little bit. We talked about All-Star real quick. Indians only had one representative next round of the All-Star voting. Brad Hand, he's going to be in. He's separate from this. But Carlos Santana finished second among AL first baseman. Frankie just missed the cut, fourth in shortstops. Chris, we tried to push him in on social media. It almost happened. What can you do?
The Indians were pulling out all the stops. They were going out to everybody trying to get him in at the last second, and it just did not come. I mean, that's so unlike Cleveland Twitter not to be able to push it over the edge. I mean, come on. We got the people we've gotten from Madden covers to, winning just about anything else on social media is amazing, but we just couldn't get it done for Lindor, and I feel bad about that.
You know what?
Who they didn't reach out to? Their social media influencers.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Interesting.
I think she seems a little hurt.
Oh boy. We'll get to the set.
Well,
yeah, geez.
Better get her another fake jersey.
Right.
Back up.
I don't know.
Yeah, Bree, have you put that graphic on anytime soon?
Cut it out. Taped it up to my mirror.
Always
have that graphic.
All right, so we got second round of voting begins on Wednesday at noon, ends Thursday 4 p.m. Go out there, vote Slam Tana Tribe fans. Let's get this done. If it was a Twitter poll, I think we'd get it done. Yeah. Hands down. Yeah. They got to change it.
As soon as you get them off Twitter, that's always bad for us.
Yeah,
we don't do that.
Oh, look at who I just opened up. Look at that.
What do you got here, Chris?
My cards while we go.
Boy.
What is it?
Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana.
First one in the third pack was Carlos Santana. How about that?
Nice work. Chris just opening random Topps cards. I love it.
Carlos flew into Philly with
what a show.
2018. By his seventh game with his new club, he had delivered a decisive 11th inning RBI, a steal of home, and a 3-run homer that was the 1,000th hit of his career. Wow, look at that.
Look at that. Let's keep talking Tribe. They knocked 2 games off the Twins' lead this week. Twins, man, they can't lose. It's insane. Really hope the Tribe comes back to win to the division just so we can have the Twins blew a 10-game lead tweet. I think that would do well. Even though everyone in Minnesota is super nice. Love you, Grandma. With that being said, it's time for our favorite Indian segment, Bree's favorite segment. Try to say something nice about the Indians. A little easier now.
Yeah, this isn't even hard anymore.
Right? Well, Bree, we'll see. We'll see what Bree says. Bree, try to say something nice about the Indians.
All right. Here's what I'll say about the Indians. We are pulling out wins with a lot of starting pitchers out injured. I mean, think about that for a minute. We have lost Clevenger, Kluber, and Bauer, and we are somehow still finding ways to win and sweep teams, even though it's Detroit. We swept them.
And all of the pitchers that we're bringing up as these rookie guys are awesome. You got Plesac. Who's that new guy? Savali? Is that how you say it? Savale? He was good.
Like every game, there's a new person.
It's crazy. Yeah, they're looking really good. Do you know who else is? Yeah, go ahead,
Do you
Chris.
think Bobby Bradley, when he got called up, did he get called up? Was the competition tougher that he saw on Sunday than what he left down in Columbus?
I don't think so.
The Tigers are a AAA team at this point.
They are. I will say that dude is jacked.
Oh my gosh!
Like he came up to the plate for the
no
first time.
One listening to me?
What?
Did you guys not listen to me when I was talking about him?
Of course we did.
We listened, Chris. We listened.
He barely swings all the way.
You mentioned that you saw his first game playing on Sunday. So I almost went to the Clippers game on Saturday specifically to see Bobby Bradley, which of course was the game he was not at because he was busy going up 71 and getting up to the big club. So it would have been funny if I would have shown up and he wouldn't have been there and you would have seen his opener there.
That's right. No, that's funny. Oh, good stuff. Let's
Carlos Carrasco. You may not see him on the field, but I got him in that pack of cards right there.
Hopefully that guy's okay.
Oh, that's the other one I forgot that we lost.
Yeah, prayers to Carlos.
We've lost quite a few people. Let's move on to another team. Our Cavaliers. Cleveland Cavaliers used 3 first-round picks on Thursday. Chris, hey, I forgot to ask you, did you go to that hoity-toity Cavs party downtown?
Yeah, I was at the Punch Bowl there in the Flats.
How was it?
It was a lot of fun. It's kind of weird because you've got, first of all these like junior level executives with the Cavs who are wandering around just trying to sell tickets and stuff like that, ticket packages. And then you have people who just got off work who are in suits and stuff like that. And then you got the real fans. So you got kind of a mix of folks there, but everybody was really cool. It was neat to see some of the media members out there and stuff. So it was a good time. Jim Jones, by the way, really, really cool guy. The nicest dude. He stood up there. He took pictures with everybody. He was talking to people just the whole night. It was really cool to see. So it was a fun experience. We only stayed, though, for the Cavs pick. As soon as the Cavs made their first pick, we were out of there.
You were out. Too late at that point.
Guys, how awful was the draft? Like, the NFL draft, fantastic. NBA draft, I love the NBA draft, but they have so many holes in this thing, man. It's awful to watch. You've got the 4th pick putting a Lakers hat on. You've got Woj before the pick, like announcing the pick, and then you wait 3 minutes. Like, it was awful to watch. Chris, you're lucky to get out of there early.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're left just to talk about the clothes that everyone was wearing. That seemed to be the most chatter, was what everybody was wearing, which when you get that in a draft, you know that it's not really right up my alley.
Well, speaking of good clothes, with the 5th pick in the draft, the Cavs selected guard Darius Garland out of Vandy. Garland, he only played 5 collegiate games due to injury. Shot it well in those games, 58%, 48% from 3. Speaking of his clothes, man, he was dressed like a Jedi on draft night. Did you catch that? That was weird. That was kind of weird.
They were saying either a Jedi or the dude from The Big Lebowski. Either way, I could see it.
Okay, yeah, I
could get
in
Jedi,
on that.
but it depends on the angle.
That's true. Talking to these other picks, 26th shooting was absolutely a theme with the Cavs. They went to 3-point specialist Dylan Windler out of Belmont. Then they traded up after everyone in Cleveland tuned out after pick 26 and chose Kevin Porter Jr., shooting guard out of USC. Bree, out of all these guys, who are you most excited to see with the Cavs next year at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse?
Yeah, good on the name change there. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an interesting year next year, given that we have Colin Sexton on the team, who we picked last year in the draft, who predominantly played point guard for us. So I'm just curious to see how they fit all of these guards together on the floor, and how that meshes. I know that they've been saying, there have been reports out that they want to be the trailblazer front of Dame and CJ McCollum. So we'll see if Beeline can pull that off, right?
Yeah, he's been talking about it. Beeline, he likes to play like 2 smaller guards at the same time, so obviously he's going to have to do that since we took both of these guys, top 5, or Sexton was right near there.
3-and-D, I think, is what he likes to play. We'll see if we can play some defense. That's definitely been a weak point for the Cavs.
Yeah, this Dylan Windler kid, he out of Belmont, this guy can shoot. Have you seen some of the YouTube or the highlights from Belmont from him?
All I heard was that the Warriors were interested in taking him, which then leads me to believe that we actually made probably a pretty good pick, given what they've done with their draft picks.
Yeah, I'll take it. So we could have a lineup of Darius Garland, Colin Sexton, Kevin Porter Jr. off the bench. You got Chetty and Windler at small forward, and then you got Larry Nance Jr. and Kevin Love. That's not awful, right, Chris?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think
I still want it Bol Bol. I wanted Bull just for fun. You talked about Greg Oden. I mean, the guy's Greg Oden probably too. But still, he would have been so much fun. I mean, if you're not going to be particularly good, which, I mean, we're not winning the championship next year, at least be interesting. And if we bring in a guy like that, man, they would be instantly a lot more interesting to me.
Yeah, I feel like you don't really need bulls in the league anymore, though. And I think
no, of course not. Of
no.
Course not. But how much fun would it be to have one?
Do you know his middle name is Minute?
Is it Bull, Minute Bull?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Minute really ran out of names when he was naming him.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with the last name first, and then we'll go with the first name. I guess you can just have mine.
Amazing.
He played well against Zion.
That's true. That's true.
He really did. I watched that game, and he played very well. So, who knows? Maybe he's got a future in this league. I doubt it, but, man, he's going to be some fun to watch.
Yeah, he will. All right, that's probably enough Cavs talk. We'll talk about them in the fall. Let's move on to our Brownies. So we've officially hit that lull in the offseason where there's literally nothing going on for the Browns. Next few weeks, we are going to break down a quarter of the Browns schedule game by game really quickly. Let's kick it off. Week 1 versus the Titans. We're heading to Tennessee. Oh, no, that's actually a home game. Sorry.
Coming to us.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So probably the most anticipated home opener since 99, right? Got to be.
Wow.
I think so. I think so. I saw a stat on Joe Thomas's Twitter that he never won a week 1 game. So get ready to hear the CBS announcers bring up the fact that Cleveland has not won an opener since 2004.
Can we get T-shirts made already? # do it for Joe to wear for the first game. That should be the giveaway, right?
I love it.
That is fantastic, Bree. Let's get that going.
All right.
All right, so you look at this matchup. So key matchup, look out for in this game. You've got OBJ, first game with the Brownies, and then you've got Malcolm Butler with the Titans. You know, the old guy from the Patriots. That matchup, you got Butler's, he always takes chances guarding receivers. He got burned quite a few times last year. I think we're probably going to see OBJ exploit that and have a huge game in his first opening game for our Browns.
Yeah, the Titans last year went, 9-7? I think they were right around there. Who's a quarterback now? They got Mariota?
Yeah, Mariota, and he was hurt all year.
Contract year, too?
I believe Mariota's on a contract year. He was hurt all last year. He played through it. They're a better team than I think than people give credit for. It'll be interesting also to see Nick Chubb versus Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we shall see. And then
it's a W. Move on.
It's a W. I'm all in.
Are we going to do our rankings? What day is it?
Way
June
too
24th.
early?
June 24th. Let's do it.
Let's do it. W across the board?
W.
Alec, W?
W.
You looked so nervous when I looked over to you. You're like, what did I do wrong? I've got him trained. Perfect. All right, week 2. We are going to New York City at Jets. This is
the Sam Darnold Bowl, baby.
Yes. This is supposed to be, right? The 50th anniversary of the first ever Monday night game. Is actually 49 years ago, September 21st, 1970. It is almost the exact 1-year anniversary of Baker's debut. Huge game for Colin Cowherd, Darnold versus Baker. Odell returns to New York. I think the thing to look out here for is Le'Veon Bell versus our new defensive front. Sheldon Richardson, Larry Ogunjobi, Myles Garrett, Olivier Vernon. I think we're going to shut him down.
Yeah, he doesn't have Antonio Brown to bail him out. So he doesn't have a star receiver anymore playing off of him. Let's do it. Darnold is not Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I was going to compare the stats between Chubb and Le'Veon Bell from last year, but wait. Wait. That's right. I am going with a W here as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to be really amped up for this game, especially if we win game 1, to come in game 2 and play a Monday nighter with Mr. Dangerous. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be.
I gotta say though,
Baker Mayfield's going to be so high for this game. They're going to have to knock him down to start it because he's just going to be just bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, I want to shut up Colin Cowherd like immediately too. Like, let's shut that down.
Yeah,
I'm on board. Bree, W.
I'm going W. Although I have to say, in looking at these first 4 games, it's not going to be a walk in the park.
No, we could easily be 1-3.
Week 1 and week 2, we're
yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of tough games, week 3 versus the Rams, Sunday Night Football. Reigning NFC champs are in town for a primetime matchup. These two teams' offense, we could have a shootout here, which would be insane. We haven't had those for quite some time. You know, West Coast teams typically struggle making the cross-country trip. Browns are actually going to be coming off a short week, so who knows how this is going to go. Matchup I'm kind of interested to see here is who has more success. You got Aaron Donald getting after Baker, and you've got Myles Garrett attacking Jared Goff. That's going to be interesting. So Myles Garrett's going up against Andrew Whitworth, probably one of the best left tackles in the game. I would assume the majority of the game, unless they switch him and Olivier Vernon. Other side, you got Aaron Donald trying to get his way through the middle. J.C. Treader, Joel Bitonio, Austin Corbett. I hate to say it, but I kind of give the Rams the edge in this specific battle. Am I wrong there?
Well, I don't know. With the Browns, the Browns with their new line, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they gel. And come week 3, you know, that's where they're going to be hitting their stride, you would think, coming together. And this could be a real beast of a defensive line. I'm really looking forward to it. So it's really gonna predicate on how well they all come together.
I think when you look at our receivers and really having some offensive threats this year, we had good receivers last year, but we didn't really have any threats to really open up the run game. I think that's one place where hopefully we see even more improvement, even though Nick Chubb really had a great back half of the season. I think he's going to have even more holes going in this year just based on how hard it's going to be to match up with our receivers. And I hope that our defense, unlike last year, can actually stop the run game on the flip side.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why they brought Sheldon Richardson. You'd think that's going to have to do something.
Got to change. And even if you heard Denzel Ward speaking about the OTAs a couple of weeks ago, he was saying how they're switching it up more on defense and not playing and showing up the same way. Last year, I think they played predominantly man. And I felt like that was kind of a knock to Greg Williams a little bit in saying that they're going to kind of switch things up. So I'm really hopeful for the defense. And I think people, as much as they're talking about the offense, the defense hasn't been given the credit I think we deserve. And I will say I took the day off the day after this game already. I will be at this game.
Good work.
We better pull out the W.
All right, Bree, you're going W. I'm going tie. It's been way too long since we've had a tie.
Ooh, bold move.
Chris?
I'm going to go with an L.
Okay, that's fair. Mike on Twitter says this game's going to overtime. God, it's a night game. I don't know. That's going to be a late night. I'll go tie. We're going tie. All right, week 4, last one at Ravens. Browns' first divisional opponent. This is another battle between second-year quarterbacks. The Browns really need to win this game because Cleveland fans have talked a lot of trash on Lamar Jackson. So key matchup I think to look out here is who has a better game at the running back position, Nick Chubb or Lamar Jackson? What do you guys think?
I just can't see Lamar Jackson sustaining the type of play that he had last year, knowing that teams have film on him again this year because he's not a strong passer. And I just can't see him being that good of a quarterback.
He'll be gone by this time. We're going to be talking about either Trace McSorley or RG3.
Oh, my God.
That's who's going to be your quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, folks, by the time the Browns get there. So just chalk up a W right now. Lamar Jackson's going to be gone. We're going to be looking at one of those two guys, maybe the RG3 Bowl. That'll be fun. Trace McSorley out there. Run him out there. It's not. I know. How great is that,
God.
Right? So, I'm not worried about this one. Baltimore doesn't scare me.
No, not me either. I think this is definitely a W. What did that put us 3-1?
Yeah, I have a W here, which would make it 4-0. Although I feel like 1 out of the first 3 games, we could have a letdown game right off the bat.
So that would leave us 3-1 going into Monday Night Football once again. That would be a beautiful thing.
Oh my god!
Would that be our best start?
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever?
Well, I mean, we said Joe Thomas has never won a home opener ever.
Won a home opener. That was he played 11
He
seasons?
played for a long time. Yeah. So I would feel if we started the season 2-0, that'd probably be the best start ever.
Do it for Joe. 2-0.
Do it for Joe. Hashtag do it for Joe. I'm excited.
Coming
That
out
was
with new shirts every week.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
So
What?
we can create our own shirts. So if we do
We can.
hashtag do it for Joe 1-0, that's money.
Oh, Bree. All right.
Rolling in it.
Submit it to the store. I like it. We'll get it out there. That was fun talking Browns. I feel like we haven't gotten to actually talk actual Browns in a very, very long time.
Yeah, I can't believe we just broke down the first 4 games on June 24th.
Right? Hey, we did it in like 5 minutes, so there we go. Let's move on to some Would You Rather. All right, we're going to let intern Alec read these off. So, Alec, would you rather, and you can read them and pick whoever you want to ask. So, have at it.
All right, Dave, I'm actually going to start with you then. Would you rather, if you could switch lives with someone for a day, would you rather be Baker Mayfield or Francisco Lindor?
What?
I guess, I don't know. I guess,
Great answer.
what a weird question. I will go Baker Mayfield because it seems like he just kind of hangs out and he's a homebody, and I kind of like to do that. So I'll go Baker Mayfield.
So I'm going to go with Chris for this one.
All right, step it up. That was an awful one.
You know, there have been a lot of Indians highlights going around featuring
Yes.
Indians play announcer Tom Hamilton. If you could have a play-by-play for any event in your life, would you rather have the call be made by Tom Hamilton or Jim Donovan, or even Austin Carr if you want?
Wow.
I would definitely go with Tom Hamilton. I mean,
Yep.
I like Jim Donovan. He's kind of grown on me because, I mean, some of these runs and the way he calls them, especially last season, really got me going. But Tom Hamilton's the standby since the 90s. He's just always there. He's kind of like my summer babysitter listening to these games. I just love his calls. It kills me whenever Rosie comes in for those 2 innings in the middle of the game. That's always just death to me. But did you see the quote that Tom Hamilton had tonight about Jake Bowers? Did you guys see the news on Bowers?
No, what happened?
So pregame, Bowers was out there practicing and throwing the ball around and evidently shagging balls. And he hurt his ankle. He twisted his ankle. So he's out tonight. And Tom Hamilton said on the broadcast, without even skipping a beat, Jake Bowers, if you weren't with us, is going to miss some time. He sprained his ankle shagging in left field earlier.
Amazing.
Left it at that.
Yeah,
Like, no
baby.
reaction, just moved right along. I'm like, wait a second. You missed a word in there. That's not exactly the way it's supposed to be. But that's Tom.
Classic Tom. Classic Tom.
All right, I'm going to have to ask our resident basketball player, Bree. If you were an NBA prospect, would you rather be 7'6", an elite dunker, or a lights-out three-point shooter?
Well, Alec, I'm already a lights out 3-point shooter, so I'm going to go with elite dunker.
DJ Airhorn.
Thank you. I am done.
Good stuff. Let's move on to bold predictions. It's getting late.
Again, I'm having fun, and to me, that's the most important thing.
What
And
is
the
this?
fact that we get to go play another game in the playoffs and see what we can do, that's stinking awesome.
We need to get a bold prediction, like bold prediction. One day. All right, Alec, how'd we do last week?
So the only one right was Chris.
Wow.
No, that's not.
Oh, where's
that's
the victory
not true.
music? I need
That's
some
not
victory
true.
music on that one. Woo!
That's fair.
Dave, you said that The Cavs would draft DeAndre Hunter. They did not. You are 5-7.
Ah, me and Sam Amico were way off.
I tell you what, the lead up, I was really feeling that pick too.
Yeah.
When I got there to the draft party, I was thinking that's who they were going to go with, and I was pretty disappointed myself.
Sam on Twitter was like, I literally think the Cavs make moves just to make me look bad. Like, they read my Twitter timeline, they read my feed, and they're just like, okay, let's do the opposite.
So, Chris, as I said, you were the only one right. The assassin was brought up by the Indians. It was reported on Sunday. We had BigPlay.com reporter Nick Padone on it a few hours before everyone else knew. And, his first at-bat was awesome. RBI ground rule double. You are finally improved. You're on the win column, my friend. 2-10.
Wow, give him a round of applause.
And Bree, you said that the Cavs would trade 5. They did not, unfortunately, and you are 4-8.
Ouch.
To be fair to Bree, though, they were trying to trade that 5th pick. Kobe Altman, there was plenty of reports out there. They were trying to move it. So Bree, I'll give you a quarter point for that.
No, there's no points for that. Do or do not. There is no
All
try.
right.
Do or do not from the guy who's 2-30.
Do or do not. There's no try.
Should have stuck with my original that Chris would be right.
Right.
Oh.
That usually doesn't work out. Okay. My new prediction for this week, I've been on the Jason Kipnis bandwagon for a long time. Everyone else has fallen off. Jason Kipnis is going to return back to glory from a few years back. I say between now and our next show, Kipnis gets 6 hits in the next 5 games.
All right, that's not bad. Kip's been playing a lot better here lately. He's not
man.
nearly as embarrassing out there. So
He's improving. He's improving.
He's improving. We're all positive on the Indians on this show right now.
That's right. Chris, bold prediction for the week. What do you got?
Oh, well, we got a follow-up last week with Bobby Bradley in town. The assassin, he's going to hit his first home run, and it's going to be a grand slam.
Oh, boy.
The assassin hits a grand slam this week.
Are you sure you want to do that? Do you want to just go home run?
Go high or go home?
Give me a hell yeah.
2-11.
What?
2-11.
2-11. Bree, bold prediction.
All right. Well, Chris kind of stole mine, so I'm going to have to just make a pivot, and I'm going to go with something just via Twitter related. I don't know if you guys follow, but we have a new Twitter member that is the OJ Simpson, and
oh, God.
he really likes to take videos, so I'm going to go with OJ will record himself in 2 other videos this week talking literally about nothing.
Hell no.
Yeah. God, why is that guy on Twitter? You should have stuck with yours. Bobby Bradley hits his first major league home run because you would have been right and Chris would have been wrong.
Okay. Well,
You don't have to.
If I get both of them, then do I get 2?
Alec?
We'll give you 2 for the week. She's going to have 2 different picks. She's going to stay with her home run, so we'll give her that one.
Yep.
And then the OJ thing that she put together there.
I like it.
I'm going to change the rules. She's going to get 2 points.
Wow, Alex giving you 2 points. He's so nice.
If you get it right.
You lost it.
If you get them both wrong, you're getting 2 points removed.
All right, good stuff. That was a long show, but that was a great show. Got Browns in, positive tribe vibes, and Shane Runyon. That was fantastic. Good stuff. Alec, hit me with some music. Let's get out of here. Everyone say goodbye to the people. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you guys
tonight.
next Monday.
The Indians can win after this rain delay.